One of these young ladies is Miss Universe 1966. What is your name, please?
My name is Apasra Hongsakula.
My name is Apasra Hongsakula.
My name is Apasra Hongsakula.
Only one of these young ladies is the real Apasra Hongsakula. The other two are imposters and will try to fool this panel. Tom Poston, Peggy Cass, Orson Bean, and Kitty Carlisle on To Tell the Truth. To Tell the Truth is brought to you this evening by new Polydent tablets, the powerful new denture cleanser tablets to keep your breath fresh, keep your smile bright and natural. And now, here's your host, Bud Collier.
Thank you very much, and welcome once again to Tell the Truth. Good evening, panel.
Good evening, Bud.
Oh, my. Open up that envelope and follow along with me on this first story, if you will. I, Apasra Hongsakula, was the first girl from Thailand ever to enter the Miss Universe beauty pageant. One reason I entered the contest was to help the world know and learn about my country and her people. Before I left, the Queen of Thailand summoned me to her chambers and personally instructed me in how to walk with dignity and grace. She also designed my hairstyle. Her Majesty's royal touch must have given me luck, because in competition with young ladies from 70 countries all over the world, I was chosen Miss Universe. Not bad for a girl whose nickname as a baby was Pook, which in the Thai language means fat. Signed, Apasra Hongsakula. Panel, these three lovely young ladies all claim to be Apasra Hongsakula. We'll start the questioning, if we may, with Tom Poston. Tom?
They're all so gorgeous. Number two, there were contestants from all over the world for Miss Universe. Is that true?
Yes.
Any place from anywhere else?
You mean like the moon?
Well, it says universe. Number two, what is Thailand famous for?
Rice?
And beautiful girls. Number one, please. I have a little bell on my keyring that comes from Thailand. I don't know if you can see that or not. That little bell, what's the significance of these little bells that are in Thailand, come from Thailand? Number one, please. Do you know?
What do they mean, those little bells?
Oh, the little bell.
In Thailand.
It's for in the temple.
I see. Thank you.
Peggy
Cat. We're in here then, in that case.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Tell me, number three, where was the Miss Universe contest held?
In Miami.
Thank you. And number one, what is the name of the Queen of Thailand?
Queen Sirikit.
Thank you. And number two, how did you lose all that weight? I mean, your name was Pook before, but it's thin now. I mean, did you go on a diet?
No, it's just loose by nature.
Oh, that's lovely. Tell me, number three, what did you do, what was your job before you became Miss Universe?
I just study at a school.
In Thailand?
Yes.
Orson Bean.
Number two, which famous city in your country has canals?
Bangkok.
That was an easy question, wasn't it? Now, there's a little hotel in Bangkok on one of these side canals.
No, Orson, no.
It's a family show. I don't want to go into the details. Number one, being Miss Universe means you are through ever entering any other beauty contest. You have no more worlds to conquer. If they asked you to be Miss Shreveport, it would be a come down, right? All right. It's not really a question, is it? How are you? Number three, tell me about yourself.
Kitty Carlisle.
Number three, how were you chosen?
McParland.
How were you chosen? How did they find you to be Miss Universe?
Was there a contest in your country?
Yes.
A contest.
Contest in my country.
Number one, what did Queen Sirikit tell you to do when you were walking?
Name dropper.
She advised me how to walk
What did she tell you?
by one of the lady in the palace. went to teach me how to walk, and then I went to see her in Paris and walk and show her. And he said, okay.
Oh, that's lovely. Number 2, what is King Fumibol? Is that his name? The king of Fumibol. What is his specialty? Does he play an instrument?
Yes.
What is it?
Clarinet.
Thank you.
That's it. Time for you now to mark your ballots. So mark them, panel, without any consultation whatsoever and without any changing once you have marked. Just vote now for number 1, number 2, or number 3. And our team of challengers will, of course, receive $250 for every incorrect vote. Are the ballots all marked? They are. All right, Tom, for whom did you vote?
I really had a difficult time. When you put 3 beautiful girls like that in front of me, it's difficult for me to concentrate on. But I just took a chance that number 1's hairstyle might have been designed by Queen Srijit, so I voted for number 1.
Peggy.
Well, I voted for number 1. I love the idea of going to Paris for walking lessons.
Orson Bean.
I voted for number 1 as well because she has the flashing eyes of a contest winner. They're all exquisite, but I noticed that contest winners have flashing eyes, dancing eyes.
Kitty Carlisle.
She didn't go to Paris for walking lessons. She went to the palace.
Where Sweet Charity is playing?
I thought it was so chic.
So I voted for number 3. I thought walked like a beauty contest winner. They were all absolutely ravishing.
Very well, there we have it. With the votes all in and the minds made up. That's all right, Kitty. Don't worry about it. We'll find out now which one of these 3 young ladies, in truth, is Apasra Hongsakula. Will the real Apasra Hongsakula please stand up? Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, you almost had it unanimous there, but not quite. Number 2, what is your real name and what do you really do?
My name is Kaylin Liu. I teach children ballet.
And number 3, what is your real name and what do you do?
My name is Ruby Shi. I have a gift shop in Taipei, Formosa.
Thank you. And in checking the score, we find there was 1 incorrect vote, and that's worth... Yes.
I have a unique... is it too late to disqualify myself? When Miss Lou introduced herself, I remember her name now. I've met her at ballet school several times.
When you were a child?
No.
She said she teaches children ballet.
I was a child before she was born.
I'm afraid we'll have to let it go just the way it was, unfortunately. What am I...
I had my head done before.
Oh, you did? I see. Did you see Tom before? How was he at ballet? Was he any good at ballet?
No, I remember.
Ah, now she remembers. So you're the one that was no good. All right. $250, and thank you very much for being with us, ladies. You really graced our evening most beautifully. Good night, and God bless you. You know, you pleaded so poignantly, Tom, that inasmuch as there was a possibility of you might be having something familiar there, I'm going to say that there'll be an extra $250 by disqualification, and they'll get $500 instead of...
Big-hearted club.
Now, let's meet our next team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Jeannie Abel.
My name is Jeannie Abel.
My name is Jeannie Abel.
Follow along again, panel, if you will. I, Jeannie Abel, was an independent candidate for president in 1964. I ran on the best party ticket, and the reason you may not have recognized my name at first is that I used the name Yetta Bronstein. I decided to throw Yetta's hat in the ring because I felt what this country needed was a mother. I campaigned by telephone, direct mail, and radio interviews, but I never kissed a baby, never shook a hand, and as a matter of fact, never made a personal appearance. Despite the fact that nobody knew what Yetta Bronstein looked like, I got 400 votes in the Maryland primary, which is the only actual count that I'm aware of. The planks in my platform included national bingo, self-fluoridation, a return to penny candy, a cat in every meat market, 16 ounces in every pound, and a new postage stamp with a picture of Jane Mansfield. As you may have heard, I was defeated by Lyndon Baines Johnson. Evidently, his slogan, all the way with LBJ, had more popular appeal than mine. Vote for Yetta and things will get better. Signed, Jeannie Abel. Panel, these three ladies all claim to be Jeannie Abel, alias Yetta Bronstein. We'll start the cross-examination with Orson Bean.
Number 3, I imagine that the first natural question would be, why did you perform this extraordinary deed?
More as a spoof than anything else.
A spoof? You just wanted to see if you could get away with it?
I was tired of being just a den mother.
Just a den mother, number 1. Did you have any other reason?
Number 1?
Number 1. Any other reason?
Just for kicks.
Just for kicks? Number 2, did you ever hear of the fellow that organized a society to put pants on animals? Just as a kick? Did you ever hear?
Yes, I've heard of him.
Who did that, do you know?
I think the gentleman's name was Alan Abel.
All right. Any relation?
My husband.
Oh, all right. Number 3, do you feel that if the name had been anything like Irving Glutz or something, just sitting there on the ballot, that he would have gotten some votes just for being there?
I rather like the name Yetta Bronstein. I think it has a certain ring to it.
Yeah, all right. Number 1.
Kitty Carlisle.
Number 1, did you make up the name Yetta Bronstein?
Yes, I did.
You had nothing to do with it.
Well, I like the name because I have an aunt named Yetta, and my very first boyfriend's name was Bronstein.
Oh,
so-
very good. Number 2, there was a lady in American history who ran for president. Do you know her name?
Well, Margaret Chase Smith did for the
No, but
primary.
this is in the 90s. This is in the 1800s.
No, I have never heard of her.
Number 3, who was Mrs. Pankhurst?
That I don't know.
Number 1, do you know?
No, I don't.
Who?
You don't know Mrs. Pankhurst?
I know. I just want to see if you know.
Okay, Miss Feminist.
Emmeline.
My dear.
You collect
On with the
feminists, right?
questioning, Kitty. Ignore all this.
Number 3, do you think this was obstructing the wheels of progress to put your hat in the ring as a kind of joke? Didn't that upset the whole voting in Maryland if you got 400 votes?
Not at all. I think in some ways it probably opened people's eyes to what actually can happen.
I see.
Tom Poston.
Thank you. I'm interested in this man who wants animals clothed. Number 1, who performs those lectures and things about clothing the animals? Is that your husband?
My husband, that's right.
Well, doesn't somebody else have something to do with that? I've seen somebody else do that, a good friend of mine.
Well, there may be some people who copied him, but my husband was the very first one.
Oh, well, I'm surprised to hear that. Number 3, where do you live, actually?
My actual home now is in New York,
I mean, where were you when this primary was run off?
in Boston.
Thank you. Number 2, were you in a national election? You were on a national ticket?
I was a national write-in candidate.
And you only counted 400 votes in Maryland, no place else?
Well, I claim that I got more than Mickey Mouse and Arthur Godfrey in the Alabama.
They were also on the ticket?
That's right.
Peggy Cat.
Number 3, do you have animals?
At the time, I only had a white mouse, and I know it's popular to have an animal when you're running for president. But
Well,
we
did
lived
you
in an
put pants
apartment.
on it?
No, we didn't.
They'd be teeny-weeny little pants.
Very difficult every day.
Now, number 1, you say you want 16 ounces in a pound. Well, what's so new? There are 16 ounces in a pound. Aren't there?
Do you always get 16 ounces in a pound?
Well, I certainly hope that my dealers are honest. Yes, I mean, and number 2, what's self-fluoridation? What do you do? Drink it yourself or what?
It's a pill that will allow you to have the choice of fluoridating if you want to, and if you don't, you don't have to.
Are you going to make them? Would you have made this pill, or does it already exist?
I would...
That's it. Time for you now to mark your ballots. So mark them, panel, with the knowledge that you have. Mark them at once without change and without any consultation. And, of course, don't change. But vote now for number 1, number 2, or number 3. Ballots all marked. Very well. Tom, for whom did you vote this time?
Well, I voted for number 1. I think she looks like a mother, but the other 2 seem to be more serious to me looking than that. But I thought Buck Henry did that guy.
There's a real guy.
I'll do it, Abel.
Oh, I see.
Peggy Cat.
I voted for number 3 because of that white mouse. Somebody that would run for president would have a white mouse. I don't know.
Orson B.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I don't know what it is. I don't really. I voted for number 3 because I had to vote for somebody, really.
Kitty Carlisle.
I voted for number 2 because of the shy way in which she admitted that it was her husband when Orson asked her who wanted to put the pants on animals.
Very well. There we have it with the votes all in and the reasons, as you heard, very ably given. Let's find out now how true or false we may be as we learn which one of these ladies, in truth, is Jeannie Abel. Will the real Jeannie Abel please stand up? You got it. Thank you very much. And incidentally, I'm sure you've been thinking about the answer to this next statement of mine. Jeannie Abel has just written a book about her political career as Yetta Bronstein. What's the name of it, Jeannie?
It's called The President I Almost Was.
Well, lots of good luck with it. Number 1, what is your real name and what do you really do?
My real name is Beverly Barr. I lecture, and I'm on radio and television, and it's all on diet and exercise.
Thank you. And number 3, what is your real name and what do you do?
My name is Brenda Baker, and I'm a trademark for the Maine potato industry.
Well, I could say, how do you like them potatoes, but I won't. Checking the score, we find there were 1, 2, 3 incorrect votes. Good hunting, girls. That's 3 times $250 for a total of $750 for you to divide. And thank you very much for joining us. Goodbye, and God bless you. And now let's meet our third team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Karen Pryor.
My name is Karen Pryor.
My name is Karen Pryor.
Follow along again, if you will, panel, with your copies of this one. I, Karen Pryor, am the curator of Sea Life Park in Hawaii. Sea Life Park is a marine oceanarium where visitors may observe a living recreation of a Hawaiian coral reef and learn about porpoise research in our Ocean Science Theater. My job is to supervise the training of the porpoises, who are the real stars of Sea Life Park's 10 daily shows. I have taught our porpoises to carry messages to scuba divers, ride a surfboard, recover objects underwater while blindfolded using their built-in sonar systems, and swim an underwater slalom race through a tricky course of plastic hoops. In one area of our park called Whaler's Cove, 6 porpoises race in unison, jump in unison, and with one flip of their flukes, leap out of the water and spin 3 times in the air. I am the first animal trainer in history to teach porpoises by underwater sound commands. Signed, Karen Pryor. Very well, panel. These 3 ladies all claim to be Karen Pryor. We'll start with Peggy Cat. Peggy?
Those porpoises are great. Tell me, what's the sound you make when you want them to jump?
What number?
Oh, number 3.
We have a tape-recorded sound.
Pardon me?
We have a tape-recorded sound.
Well, did you tape it yourself?
Well, our trainers have taped them, yes.
Well, then number 1, would you make the sound that's on the tape recorder for jump?
Yes.
Yeah, well, will you make it? I mean, will you say
You
it?
mean, what
jump?
does it sound like?
I want to hear what jump is like in porpoise language.
There is no one sound for jump. You can use several different sounds.
I see. Now tell me, number 2, on which island of the Hawaiian Islands is yours?
On Oahu.
Thank you. I want to ask you, number 1, about riding surfboards. I mean, what do they do, just belly flop on them?
They eventually do, but they don't begin that way. They begin just by putting their nose on them, but that's the way they ride them.
And they ride them right into the shore?
Yes.
Orson B.
Number 3, what's the other word for a porpoise?
Dolphin.
Will a porpoise, number 3, or a dolphin push you to shore if you're drowning, or is that an old sailor's tale?
No, it's more than an old sailor's tale. It can happen.
Why would they do that?
They're helpful.
They're helpful, and they just want to be nice fellows. Number 1, do you know anything about fish?
A little.
What's the fastest fish?
Porpoise is pretty fast.
Yeah, but, number 2, all right. Now, tell me about Dr. Lilly. Who is he?
Dr. Lilly is a medical doctor who works with porpoises in Florida.
Let me ask you, number 1 said that porpoise is the fastest fish. Do you agree with that statement? And if not, why? I question in 2 parts.
Which part do you wish answered first?
Well, I think it's pretty hard to prove.
Yeah, well, I'm asking about the fish part. Is he a fish?
Well, no, strictly. A porpoise is a mammal.
Yeah, it means he could come in here,
Kitty,
right? You can't
Carlisle.
keep him out.
Number one, did you go to school in Hawaii?
No.
You just live there now.
Yes.
As number two, as a curator, what are your duties?
Well, I'm responsible for the well-being of all the live exhibits and for the exhibits themselves in
Thank
Sea
you.
Life Park.
Number three, how do you make these porpoises jump in unison?
Well, this is a long period of training. It begins by just having one follow the other.
Thank you. Number one, do they have to be compatible to do things in unison, or doesn't it matter?
They're pretty compatible, generally.
They like each other.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Number two, do they ever get angry if one gets more praise than the other?
Sometimes, yes.
And what do they do?
They chase each other.
They sign a document. Tom.
Number two, do you know, are there any killer whales in captivity?
Yes, there are two. True killer whales.
Where's one that I know of?
One is at the, I think it's the Seattle Aquarium.
Thank you. Number three, have they ever been trained?
The killer whales?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Could somebody, like, ride them and get next to them and so forth, number three?
It depends on the particular time of year, but yes, it can be done. They're quite gentle.
Is that so? Number one, how many kinds of porpoises are there that you know of?
33.
Holy, I thought I knew a lot when I knew two. Well, number one, in the pictures that we saw, as the one went through the salam race of those hoops and things, there was one above it. What's that for? What was...
Well, that porpoise we weren't able to train. That porpoise just pretends it's going through.
Oh, fascinating.
That's all we have time for, so go through your own hoops and mark your ballots, if you will, please. Now, panel, mark them at once without change, without any consultation between you, and don't change it. Vote for number one, number two, or number three. Are your ballots all marked? Yes, they are. Tom, for whom?
Well, I figured that it was number two, but because of her deep suntan, but I love number one's answers so much that I'll just guess number two is a professional lady golfer. I think it's...
Peggy Cat.
You know, two does look like a professional lady golfer, but I voted for it. She may play golf at her time off. To me, she knows an awful lot about all those fish.
Orson Bean.
Well, I was really torn between one and two. On the grounds of incompetence, I think I should be off the show. I voted for one, even though she said that the porpoise is not known for excessive speed. The sailfish and the wahoo can get up to 40.
That's so.
And the smallest insect in the world is the banded louse. 5,670,000 of them weigh an ounce.
How large a band? Never mind. Kitty.
I voted for number two on her basis, on the basis, you've got me all mixed up. On the basis of her answers about the fish.
And her Nixon suit looks so great it comes to wine.
Well, that makes it even, Stephen. There were 2 for 1, 2 for 2. Let's go with that and find out how well it fits in the truth area as we learn which one of these 3 young ladies, in truth, is Karen Pryor. Will the real Karen Pryor please stand up? Thank you very much. Thank you. You may be seated. Number one, what is your real name and what do you really do?
My name is Mary Mitchell, and I'm a playwright.
Good luck. Number 3, what is your real name and what do you do?
Well, I teach 5th grade in PS 110 in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. And my name is Leslie Fish.
Thank you. Checking the score, we find there were 2 incorrect votes. That's twice $250, $500 total coming your way, and we thank you very much. This has been an all-lady night, an all-lovely lady night tonight for the first time. I want to tell the truth. Good night, and God bless you. That's all we have time for tonight. Good night, panel. Good night to you. See you next week at the same time. Of course, see you tomorrow afternoon, the daytime show. But in the meantime, don't you forget to tell the truth. Night.
To Tell the Truth is a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production. To Tell the Truth has been brought to you by light, bracing, clean-tasting Pepsi-Cola, the official drink of the Pepsi generation. Johnny Olson speaking for To Tell the Truth, tonight's program pre-recorded.